Sued over price fixing right in the middle of your holiday shopping. Plus, actions of a hero. Tonight, a woman alive thanks to random strangers pulling her from a burning car. But first, Old Man Winter is here to stay. We're on the storm watch with what's here and what's in store. Local News 8 at 5 starts right now.
You're watching Local News 8 at 5. Local people, local news.
A live look over Idaho Falls tonight. Camera shaking. It's a bit windy out there. A rain-snow mix fell much of the day. And tonight, freezing roads will make for dangerous driving conditions. Good evening. I'm Chris Oswald. Let's turn it over to Chris Nessman right now. Chris, it's kind of died off right now, but we're going to see some more of that out there.
Yeah, we really are. We're kind of in a lull because you can see we've got snow to our northeast, snow to our south, and more rain-snow mix, actually. We had some warm moisture come up out of the south, which is why we saw rain this afternoon. We're going to stay in this lull for a little bit, but starting early tomorrow morning, we'll start to get in on the action again. So we're going to, again, see a bit more. And that still means winter driving habits because the roads are slick. This is Teton Pass in Wyoming. Not the best travel conditions. And obviously the valleys are better than the mountains. But like Chris Oswald mentioned, with the freezing temperatures we'll be seeing, that rain will turn to snow. So for tonight, average low of 22 degrees. Tomorrow, we're going to see an average of about 30 degrees, plus or minus a few, depending on where you are. And we'll have more on the continuing snow showers, as well as, Chris, we're talking another round of extra cold air for our forecast. I'll tell you when, coming up.
It's time to get used to it. Thanks, Chris. Well, as these temperatures do fall, it is important to take it easy on the roads. Driving conditions can quickly go from good to bad. So let's take a live look at road conditions tonight. This is the Idaho Transportation Department's road conditions map. You can see the purple there on your screen. That's going to be areas that are difficult to drive in. Any blue is going to be, there's some snow, ice, slushy conditions. Everything in gray is going to be normal driving conditions. So you can see a lot of eastern Idaho. Up north is going to be that purple, and then some down towards Pocatello. And let's take a look at some of the conditions across the state. This is Highway 23 at the Wyoming-Idaho state line. You can see that they've done a pretty good job of clearing the highway there. It's those shoulders and the turnoffs that you're going to have a lot of that issue, so you're going to want to take it slow out there. And to our south in Pocatello, this is a live look there. This is where we've seen a lot of problems over the last couple of days as the snow is falling, but traffic there is moving along just fine. We'll be here throughout the night, so count on Local News 8 to be your complete weather coverage. Coming up at 5:13, we're going to take a look at conditions nationwide. And then be sure to join us back here tonight at 6 and 10 for complete weather coverage. And you can always get the latest online at localnews8.com. Breaking news out of Boise right now. Fire crews are working a fatal apartment complex fire. This is on the northwest side of town. Our sister station, KTVB in Boise, is told that the fire started on the 3rd floor of the apartment complex. We know one person has died. A firefighter was hurt as well. A 3rd person was taken to the hospital. 3 more people, including a child, were treated at the scene. This fire started around 2 o'clock this afternoon. No word on a cause of this fire. It has been nearly a week now since a massive fire destroyed the LDS church in Swan Valley. The massive fire took several fire departments hours to put out. We still do not know the cause of this fire. This weekend, members of the church will meet for the state conference. It is expected that during that time, a new meeting place for worship will be announced, and we will pass that information along to you as soon as we have it. We're going to go to Ketchum now. The Blaine County Commissioners have approved a deal with a homeowner to protect homes from flooding. The plan would involve work to keep the river out of a bypass channel. The Idaho Mountain Express reports previous stream alterations did not work as expected. The county is requiring a $3,500 bond to make sure that proper vegetation is installed in the spring area. So it's been a month since the presidential election, and it's already time to start thinking 2018. State Senator Marv Hagedorn says he will run for lieutenant governor in 2018. The Meridian Republican is the first official candidate for the seat after current Lieutenant Governor Brad Little said he was going to run for governor. Hagedorn is a retired Navy officer and has served in the Senate since 2012. He's also served in the Idaho House. While on the topic of politics, the Trump transition continues this evening. Today, the president-elect took part in the Army-Navy game. This comes as his cabinet picks continue to grow criticism. Mary Bruce continues our political coverage tonight.
Prime seating for the president-elect. Donald Trump taking a break from the transition to take in the Army-Navy game in Baltimore Saturday. But before he got to the game, Trump hit Twitter, lashing out at concerns that while in the White House, he will stay on as an executive producer of the NBC show The Apprentice. The Trump team today is fighting back against a new Washington Post article that a secret CIA report found Russia interfered in the U.S. election to help Trump win. Individuals connected to the Russian government reportedly provided WikiLeaks with hacked emails as part of a wider Russian operation to boost Trump and hurt Clinton's chances. Trump's transition team was quick to respond, questioning the credibility of the CIA, saying these are the same people that said Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction.
U.S. intelligence agencies believe the Russians are behind that leak. Why don't you believe it?
I don't know if they're behind it, and I think it's public relations, frankly.
Trump has repeatedly shrugged off conclusions from intelligence agencies that Russia was behind the DNC hacking. Now the New York Times is reporting intelligence agencies found Russia also hacked the RNC, but did not release whatever information they gleaned from the Republican networks.
The intelligence is wrong because they're writing that the conclusion that they came to was based in part on the RNC was hacked. It wasn't hacked.
He's basically attacking the CIA in order to defend Vladimir Putin. For a sitting president-elect to attack a U.S. agency to defend Russia is quite an amazing situation.
Mary Bruce, ABC News, Washington.
Developing news right now out of Istanbul. At least 13 people have been killed after 2 explosions were heard coming from a popular soccer stadium. Police have since closed down streets around Vodafone Stadium. Smoke can be seen coming from the stadium, and it is believed the explosions were from car bombs, but there is no definite answer. We will have more on this coming up tonight at 5:30 on World News. News from around the nation. We start in Michigan. A dramatic rescue in Lincoln Park caught on camera. Watch as a woman is pulled from her burning car. In the video, you hear a woman screaming someone is inside. Moments later, a police officer runs up, hits the window 25 times before another man helps drag the woman out of the back of the car. We don't know what her condition is. To Omaha now. Offensive and hateful statements are found on the campus of the University of Nebraska. In all 3 cases, the messages were found inside campus bathrooms. One, a post-it note with offensive language towards blacks. Then there was a graffiti that was scratched on walls, and in one case, a picture of a swastika and the message, quote, "Make America Great Again." The university is investigating. Final stop around the nation, Orlando. A sinkhole opened up at a gated community near Walt Disney World. Deputies determined the structure was not safe and have ordered evacuations. More than 30 residents of Bahama Bay 2 had to leave their homes because of this. The hole is about 30 feet wide and 20 feet deep. This evening, the BYU community is remembering a young girl full of life. A funeral for the daughter of running back coach Reno Mahe was held Friday in Utah. New at 5, Glenn Beebe has more on this young girl's life.
The smile and laugh was what many remember about Elsie Mahe. The little worn-out princess shoes show that even in her 3 years, she got so much out of life, while bringing life to those around her.
I have a little angel that wanted to be just like me. I'm so grateful for the privilege of being her mom.
Family members told stories of Elsie and the impact she had on others. Through the tears, smiles broke out as people remembered the energetic 3-year-old who hid stuff in the couch and used peanut butter in her hair, thinking it was gel. Elsie's father, Reno, also spoke about how his faith has given him and his family comfort in this tragic time by knowing she's in a better place.
So for me right now, I'm happy to know that one right now has made it. And I got 7 more to go.
Reno says the support from the community and around the country has been overwhelming.
Sometimes I like to keep on who I owe and who's done something for me so I can always do something for them. And everything that's happened, I can never repay everyone back for what they've done for me and my family.
That was Glenn Beebe reporting. Elsie died late last month after becoming tangled in window blind cords at her Utah home. She was an organ donor and was laid to rest today. Well, Christmas is arguably the most wonderful time of the year. Local law enforcement tried to put a smile on some kids' faces. Local News 8's Febin Casahoon is in the studio with more on this. Febin?
Chris, the 20th annual Shop with a Cop took place today, and it happened at Kmart, where dozens of kids got a chance to shop till they dropped for Christmas presents. Not only did they get the gifts for themselves, but they also got gifts for their families. Store manager Eric Holmberg told me Kmart has been a part of this since it first started.
It's just a great program that we've always been part of, and we it's just something that we love doing here at the store. The officers giving up their time, helping out, working with the kids. The kids are great. It's always a fun and exciting day when they come into the store.
Tonight on Local News 8 at 6, hear from the kids and officers that were a part of this. In studio, I'm Bevan Casahun.
Febin, thank you. It is the challenge seen around the globe. Now the mannequin challenge is hitting eastern Idaho. This is the crew over at Pockets in Idaho Falls. They're getting in on the action, or maybe the lack thereof. From those ready to break at the pool tables to waitresses standing in place, everyone got in on this fun. If you have a mannequin challenge that you'd like to share, we'd love to see it. You can do so on our Facebook page. That's Local News 8. If you love swimming and movies, here's how you can do both. The West East Aquatic Center will be showing Disney's Frozen on the big screen next Friday. It runs from 6 to 8. Admission is $4 for ages 13 and up, $3 for ages 4 to 12, $2 for ages 3 and younger, and if you want to bring the whole family, it's $10. Concessions will also be available for purchase. If you haven't finished your Christmas shopping, we have a warning for you about some price concerns at major retailers, what they are ahead. Plus, are you watching us and doing something else? The experts say it may be bad for you. Find out the dangers of multitasking. But first, it is cold, and the rest of the country is suffering right along with us. After the break, the latest on the cold snap across the country. Chris Nessman.
And we'll be talking about a cold snap. They'll be heading our direction as well as several storms. But you take a look at Pocatello right now. Not quite so cold, more windy. Winds at 16 miles an hour. We'll have more on those winds. And again, all the storms headed our way next.
Local people, local news. You're watching Local News 8 at 5.
Happening right now, Burr, it is cold. Temps across the country are downright freezing. Chris Nessman is kind of hidden back here. He'll tell us what we can expect in a moment. But first, Andy Rose has the latest on what this cold weather pattern is doing all across the country.
Get your winter gear out. It's going to be a very chilly one. After having the warmest autumn on record and the second warmest November, cold weather is finally here. Arctic air is pushing down on much of the U.S. over the next week. 80% of the country will see freezing temperatures. Cold air pushing into the northeast and southeast Friday, with freezing temperatures expected along the Gulf Coast this weekend. About 10 million people are under storm warnings and winter weather advisories in the west. Cities like Portland and Seattle are already getting snow. An even colder air mass is scheduled to hit the Midwest and Northeast later this week, bringing up to 2 feet of snow in some areas. The wintry weather has already been causing havoc on the roads. In Northeast Ohio Thursday, icy conditions caused more than 50 vehicles to slam into each other on Interstate 90. Drivers say there was no way to avoid the massive pileup.
It was pretty shocking. Pretty tough. It was pretty horrific to look at. I crashed right into another vehicle. It was it was pretty bad.
At least 2 people were killed in a snowy 30-car pileup near Lansing, Michigan. State authorities coast to coast are encouraging residents to prepare and keep warm, especially with the official start of winter only 2 weeks away.
Luckily, we got ready earlier in the week and it didn't turn out to be anything. We're getting ready once again. We're geared up. We'll get something.
I'm Andy Rose reporting.
It's cold there. It's cold outside here, but I'm freezing inside.
Well, I mean,
I just can't warm up from going outside.
Well, and the other thing too, I mean, it's a little trick here. They do keep the studio cooler because generally speaking, the lights heated up, but they're not working as well today because it is on the chilly side. Now, right now in Rexburg, we're at 34 degrees, which being above freezing in December, yeah, we're seeing some rain mix today, though right now we're not seeing a whole lot of it as most of it has moved to our south. In fact, if we move a little bit closer, you can see really it's just the very southern portion, so Malad, Preston, Montpelier, Soda Springs, all those areas are seeing it. Everyone else, not seeing a whole lot. In fact, our winter storm warning has expired. We've only got a lingering winter weather advisory for the mountains of Lemhi County, as well as a dense fog advisory for Boise, and that's about it. And of course, fog, we might see some in eastern Idaho. It's not looking too bad just yet. Now, looking at the bigger picture, we've got our spinning area of low pressure. That's what's allowed some of that warm, moist Pacific air to slide in. But generally speaking, we've got kind of a march going on across the Pacific, and these storms are going to be hitting us back to back over the next couple of days. In fact, you can take a look at Vipercast as we just move through. Really no change as far as we don't really clear out, but we don't really storm up a whole lot either. In fact, we don't see anything. Monday at noon, we start to see a little something that moves, and you can see it briefly right there slide through Monday afternoon as far as a proper front, and even then it's going to be a fairly weak one. So that'll be the theme next couple days, a series of weak storms charging through. Tonight's lows on the nippy side, but not overly chilly, and tomorrow right around freezing, plus or minus a few, depending on where you are. Central Mountains, similar story. I mean, even Stanley, not super cold. Typically, Stanley can get very chilly, but 24, it's about typical for this time of year. And you take a look at the extended forecast, too, on the side of the map, chance of something almost every day. And now those 30%, that's just saying we're going to see a few flurries, but you also might see the sun pop out come the afternoon, or you might have a little bit of a heavy snowfall at times, just that in-between type state. Not really a storm per se, but not clear skies or sunshine either. Soda Springs, Southeast Highland region, 1824 for a high with, again, chance almost every single day. And you take a look at the extended forecast, it will still be windy tomorrow. And again, we have those chances of storms. The next best one after the Monday one will probably be Wednesday evening into Thursday. Looks like we could see some decent snow. The big thing after that will be the cold temperatures for next weekend. I mean, you're seeing low teens for Idaho Falls, low teens for Pocatello, overnight lows in the single digits. And when it's that far out, we could start to see those temperatures drop even more from where we are now. So it's going to be a very chilly next weekend. The work week, on the other hand, yeah, often on snow showers for most of the time. But again, looking at that weekend, how about 12 below for Jackson?
That 9 is going to feel like a heat wave.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, because next weekend, and the reason is we're going to have a cold front come through one final storm, and then we clear out. And everyone knows what happens when you get clear skies at night here in Idaho. Temperature just drops.
You're going to want extra blankets, a fireplace, hot chocolate, and a good book.
Hot chocolate sounds good.
Doesn't it, though? All right. Thanks, Chris. Well, developing news in your Consumer Report as millions shop this holiday, a new lawsuit. That suit accusing several major retailers of making you believe you're getting a better deal than you actually are. Here's ABC's Rebecca Jarvis with what you need to know.
Tonight, 4 of the largest department store chains in the country, Macy's, JCPenney, Sears, and Kohl's, sued by the Los Angeles City Attorney.
Today, I'm announcing that we filed 4 lawsuits against some of the nation's leading retailers
for allegedly using false reference pricing. That is, setting original prices of merchandise higher to make customers think they were getting better deals and bigger discounts. The allegations including, for example, a swim top advertised at JCPenney with an original price of $46 and a sale price of $31.99. Supposedly a 30% discount. But according to the suit, the top was never on sale online for more than $31.99. Under California law, businesses cannot publicize higher original prices unless items have been on sale at those prices within 3 months of the advertisement.
If you're expecting a Christmas delivery, beware. Thieves could be keeping a close eye on what you're getting. Take a look at some security video out of Woods Cross, Utah. A crook caught crystal clear, taking the packages right off the front lawn. Here's the catch, though. The thieves had been following the UPS truck. The Woods Cross Police Department were so surprised by this, they tweeted, quote, "If you see a car following a delivery truck, they could be stealing your packages."
In this video, it's pretty clear that that was their plan, and once they locate a UPS truck, it's not hard to just, keep your distance and follow behind and pay attention to where they're going.
UPS is aware their trucks can be a target, especially at the holidays. Woods Cross police say they know who the suspect is. He just hasn't been caught. Hey, if a pet is on your child's Christmas wish list, you may really want to consider it. Coming up, the health benefits of that furry friend. But first, concerns over teens and access to tobacco. What a new study says about it. We're back right after this. In your Health Matters tonight, the dangers of multitasking. It is a part of our daily lives. Some of us, journalists, do it for a living, but it may not be the best thing for you. Mary Maloney explains why juggling so many things at once can do more harm than good.
Contrary to popular belief, multitasking doesn't always save time. In most cases, it will probably take you longer to finish 2 or more projects than it would to finish each one separately. Experts say that when switching between tasks, you're more likely to make mistakes, especially if what you're working on involves a lot of critical thinking. Researchers from the University of California say it's not only the physical act of multitasking that can stress you out, but also the consequences. Bombing an exam or failing to perform at work can lead to self-esteem issues or even depression. Multitasking can even affect how much you eat. Eating while distracted means you may eat too much too quickly, or that you won't fully remember the feeling of eating and being full. Because of that, you might be picking up the fork again too soon. Experts say each task requires a specific mindset, and once you get started, you should commit to the end. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mary Maloney.
It's easier said than done. There is a new concern for parents tonight. The Surgeon General says e-cigarettes are the most commonly used form of tobacco for teens. E-cigarette use among high school students increased by 900% from 2011 to 2015. In the report, the Surgeon General called for immediate legal action, such banning e-cigarettes and increasing taxes on e-cigarette products. Another reason for you to consider that puppy your kids want for Christmas, they could help with mental health conditions. English researchers say the physical presence of pets is calming and therapeutic. Patients also say their pets make them feel validated and distract them from their symptoms. Idaho Falls tonight, live look over the city. You can see it's wet out there. Chris Nessman back right after this with one final look at your forecast. We're back in a minute. Final look at your forecast with Chris Nessman.
Snowy and then cold. I mean, middle of the week's not going to be too cold. This is Idaho. I don't think you can call 20s chilly, but definitely a high of 10 next Saturday. That's going to be cold. So we've got a series of storms moving through. Probably best one that'll bring some snow totals Wednesday evening into Thursday, and then clear skies and cold temperatures.
I promise I wasn't caught off guard. I was just frozen by your forecast. We're back at 6.